everybody. How we doing? We are here. A little late, but we made it. We had to kind of go on the fly a little bit to make sure that everything was all right for you guys. We always try to produce the best quality here. So,
Yay for technical difficulties, but we made it. We're happy to
yep,
be here.
yep, it's great. I am QP. I am the community super. Anything that you guys need and think that the community would enjoy, you can bring it right to me. I'll bring it to my main man Rabs, and we'll make it happen.
And I'm Taurus. I am the super on the development side. I work hand in hand with Panic, who's the head developer of the server, all the Discord stuff, the bot stuff, and we tag team and we work together on the server.
Oh
Make
yeah,
sure we answer all your questions.
oh yeah. So, Support Force. What is Support Force, you ask, if you have not heard of it? We are the leading multi platform, cross platform Discord community where we support across every platform you can think of. We're on Instagram, Twitter, you know, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. We're everywhere. Even on TikTok right now. Might be changing
Be
soon, but
live.
we're there now. We're on D Live. We're everywhere. Anywhere that you want to come and make content, we're more than happy to come out and support you guys, Support the support.
A little bit more about our staff team here at Support Force. We work together as a team, and we're constantly developing ideas on how to better the community, better the server, support you guys and your content. And we all kind of play our part. We all have our little niches that kind of go hand in hand. And tonight we wanted to bring on one of our staff members. He's one of our newer staff members. His name is BigPanic. He's an ambassador at the server, and we'll let him kind of discuss a little bit what that means to him as a member of the staff team. Um, so yeah, give it up for Big Panic.
Woo! There he is. What's up, buddy? How you doing tonight? You're muted.
Are you muted? This happens every time.
Yep, fancy mic problems. I'm good. I said I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing well, doing
Good. We're
well.
happy to have you here.
Yeah.
Thanks for bearing with us and
Hey,
hanging
no
out with
problem.
us while we
Also,
we figure it out.
thanks for taking it on short notice too.
Hey,
hmm
no problem.
Yeah.
It's okay, Taurus. I forgive you for breaking your OBS.
My computer sucks, you guys. It's my fault. It's my fault every single week.
Oh man. So
But Big
what?
Panic, you want to take a moment to introduce yourself, your what kind of content you create, and what you do at Supforce.
All right. Everybody in here knows me as Big Panic. My real name's Caleb. Call me Kebabbers, as everybody in the staff likes to. Um, Especially with Big Panic, other Panic. We get confused
Two
sometimes.
panics.
Yeah, we have two Panics, and they always joke how I'm Big Panic and he's Little Panic now. So I just go by Kebab when it comes to staff, just to make it easier. I am an ambassador. I'm one of the newest ones. Almost out of probation. It's a little bit longer.
Almost.
Um, Honestly, it was a big fun transition. I remember when I first got into this Discord community. It was when I first got Discord for the first time, and I had no idea what it was at all. And somebody was like, "Hey, you should download Discord, this, and that." And I downloaded it, and I was like, "I don't know what this is." And then one of the old staff members came in when I was still on Mixer and told me about the community, and I came and checked it out. And it was just so overwhelming as such a new Discord user that I didn't really get fully into it at first, just because I didn't know what all this was. I saw all this stuff all over the screen. There was just so much.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. And even now that I know Discord a little bit better, this is still a very savvy channel compared to most Discords I go into.
Ooh, I like that word savvy.
Mm.
And so I started to really get into the Discord server and like to really see what it was about once I knew how to navigate Discord better. And I really started to see like how beneficial this is for everybody, like between making friends, supporting each other. Like it was awesome. And it was funny because QP would come into my stream every single time. It seemed like every single time he came in, I was talking about Supforce to somebody, whether it was in one of my personal parties or somebody in the chat. And you two reached out and asked if I wanted to be ambassador, and it's been a fun ride ever since. Our staff calls, our gaming together as staff members and with the community has been so much fun. And even just like that small transition from just being a member to being on the staff is just honestly opened my eyes even more to like how amazing the server is, knowing everything behind it and everything like we plan to do, what we have done before I was in here and stuff like that. Just like learning a whole different side of it really is completely different than just what you see in Gen Chat. Like you see just like usernames pop up and they're just people chatting, but there's a lot more behind that than I think just a average user realizes. That was just amazing to see. And honestly it's so much fun being a part of that.
Well, we definitely
Well, we've
appreciate
enjoyed.
everything you do for us. So
Yep.
yeah, a lot of the new changes that have been coming out have been sprung on by this guy here. So you can thank him for a lot of stuff that's happening in the near future.
He's notorious for jumping the gun. We have this like hand signal and this emote of everyone on the staff team always having the same ideas, and it's like anytime one person has an idea, then the next person does like, hey, what if we do this? And it's like, oh yeah, we already talked about that. But it's just great. But
Yeah.
Big Panic is notorious for that.
Hey, if I'm known for one thing, I'm glad it's that. I was like, I like being the ideas guy. Yes, Kayla, I
That's a
am the
great way to
king
word
of
it.
jumping it. Like I love being the ideas guy. If I could have a role just as the idea guy, like, hey, we want to try this. We need some weird way to figure
Yep.
out something. Just ask me, and I'll let my mind run for a day because it never stops.
I
So,
feel like that would work well for you and Wolf's from. Both of you are the idea guys. Just
Mhm.
hey,
throwing ideas out.
JM has a detective role. Why don't I have an idea guy role?
Idea
Just has like a little emote with a light bulb
guy.
above his
Okay, if you
head.
guys see a new role popping up, it's gonna be because of today.
That's great.
Ooh, if you could put emotes in role names, that would be cool. Probably complicated, but cool.
Yeah,
That would.
that'd be pretty cool. Cool
And
indeed.
just a reminder for everyone in the chat, if you have questions for Big Panic, just tag support or Supforce, and then type questions in all capitals so it's easier for us to catch it in the chat.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to miss any questions.
So
Open book.
let's start off just by how you started gaming and what kind of process that was.
As far back as I can remember, the first console that was really mine that I played a lot of at my great grandmother's house was my first Nintendo 64. Um,
Oh yeah.
I'm sure I had something before that, but that's the first one I really remember as mine and spending a lot of time playing. And it was just so much that I would spend at least 3 nights a week at my great grandma's house and was very close to her. And during the day, she'd have a lot of stuff to do, and so I spent a lot of time playing on my Nintendo 64. And I actually still have that exact same Nintendo 64 to this day, and all the games I had with it, and all my controllers and everything. Um, and it was just so much fun. And like Mario 64 was a big one that I played a lot because there was just so much to do. It was like the original open world map. Like you could just roam
Yep.
around, go to different quests and do whatever. It was just
Mhm.
so much fun. I had old Tron racing games, and
Love
That Tron
Tron.
game was my jam, dude.
I still have it. Like
That's amazing.
I think I loaded it up. Last time I loaded that game up was about a year and a half ago. Um, I still have so many games for it, all the Pokemon games and everything
Like
for the
Pokemon Snap.
64. I don't have Snap.
Oh
I
man.
have the Pikachu one where Pikachu's like your little buddy,
Okay.
and a couple different ones. Um, Other than that, I was, as most people, just because they were a lot cheaper back then. PlayStation 2 was like my first like into the modern consoles. Um, but after
Okay.
PlayStation 2, I did make the switch to Xbox. Um,
I went the same route.
It was like, and my mom was mad. My mom was so mad when I switched from PS2 to Xbox. Games went from being $15, $20 to $60 a piece,
Yep.
and I
Yep.
had like 100 games for my PS2. She was not happy
You had to
at
pay
all.
for online on Xbox too. You didn't have to at
Uh-huh.
first for PlayStation.
She was not about the idea at all.
So what game
But
made
you
you
did it
switch?
anyways.
What game made you switch
On,
over?
honestly, no game did. It was more the higher online capability with my friends from the PS2 to the 360. Um, Majority of my friends were and still are on Xbox compared to PlayStation, and so that was a big thing. Is I drifted quickly away from like open world single player games to I like more multiplayer party based games
Yep.
because I like my time better that way spent with people rather than hours grinding in a game by myself. And that's just how I work with gaming.
I feel
So
the
that was
same
my
way
big
too.
reason. That was my big reason for switching. Not that I don't like games that have a good story mode. Like I love a good story mode that I can play by myself, but I do want a game that's not just an all story mode. That it has that big capability
Yeah.
of
You like the
partying up.
social aspect of it?
I do. I love
I'm the
social
same
aspect
way
of
with
gaming.
gaming.
Yeah,
I
me
get
too.
that.
So what
Yeah.
made me switch over was Halo coming out. Halo 2. I played it at my buddy's house, and I'd always had a PlayStation, forever and ever. And then I went over, played Halo, and went out like the next weekend and bought an Xbox.
See, that was the one game that everybody gives me crap for. I never really played Halo, never really got into it, and I've caught so much from my friends and from people
For not
and all
playing
that
it?
for not playing it and like never getting into it and stuff like that. Um, because it's like I grew up playing like the Call of Duties and Bad
Mm,
Company and stuff like
mm,
that. So it was never like an avenue that got introduced to me, so I never really got into it. And by the time I started to hear of it more and learn about it, it was so far down the line that I was just so set in the series of games I did play that I tried it once or twice. It was just so different that I didn't mesh with it because I spent so
oh,
many years in this line of gaming.
mhm, mhm,
That makes sense.
yeah,
So, but I do see the appeal. The couple times I have played it, it is a solid game. It just wasn't what I normally play.
yeah. Sometimes games just aren't your thing, so
Oh
I
yeah,
totally get that.
yeah.
I'll never dog anybody for a game they play. I've I was with my sister the other night and I loaded up Goat Simulator on my Xbox One, and she thought I was the weirdest person in the world. But I was running around with a goat, screaming, sticking my tongue into cars, and I was laughing.
That's
I was
hilarious.
having the best time in the world
That's
with a
great.
screaming goat in a city.
I've
That is
never heard
great.
of that.
Oh, Goat Simulator. I don't care if anybody in this chat has ever download it, and it will be the waste of an hour.
Yep.
The biggest waste of an hour, but it is the
But in a
funniest
good
thing.
way.
Oh,
Yep.
you'll be crying laughing. You will be dying.
Yep.
Get 2 or 3 people in a room together and each take a turn playing as this goat for no reason. There's no mission. There's nothing to do. You're literally just a goat.
You
Yeah, you just
literally
run
just
around
go.
as a goat, pretty much.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. Who
So
thinks of these things?
you said that you had an N64 as like your first console that you remember, being your own. So what was your favorite game, or maybe the first one you remember playing and putting the most time and effort into?
The first game I remember spending a whole lot of time in would honestly probably be it was after I switched to 360 and it was the original Bad Company. Um, I spent a lot of time playing Bad Company when I was over at my dad's house. Um, I don't know what it was, but I had 2 younger brothers over there, and so sometimes they'd have stuff to do with them and other things to do and stuff like that. So it was to me like gaming's always been like I have such a busy life during the week. So if I have some spare time, that's what the socialization is such a big factor for me is when I do have that spare time, it's not just gaming for me. It's
Mm,
like hanging out with friends still, even if I just can't we don't have the same schedule to meet up this time every single week or something like that. But if we have an hour to play a game together and chat, like that means a lot and goes a long
mhm.
way.
Mhm.
So that's why socialization is so big to me is because like games like that where I spent a lot of time in with friends early on that I just played so much, and then each game comes out and I make new friends with each different game
Mhm.
that comes out. It just brightens my social circle. Like I have friends in majority of states in the United States, and I haven't even been to majority of these states, even myself, but I have friends there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It's pretty
and
incredible the relationships you can form meeting
Yeah.
people online.
oh,
Especially in
100%.
especially in support force too, because we just give you that area just to put it all on the line and make friends. So I mean, I'm in a different state right now, sitting in
I know
Rab's
He's
you're
in
in
a
closet.
Rab's
he's
you're
I'm
in
in a
sitting in
Rab's
Rab's
different
closet.
closet right
Supforce
now.
member's closet.
I mean, come on now. It's
He
amazing
is
what
in
you can.
Rab's closet.
It's amazing how many great people you can meet online in the gaming world.
Yeah, I don't know. And like for me, like, and I kind of grew away from Battlefield after that because I liked the avenue they ran with the bad companies. I really do hope they've been rumoring kind of going back to a bad company game, and so my fingers are really crossing that because I would love to see another bad company.
Yeah, it'd be
Um,
good.
but we'll see.
Hey, 1-2. Hey, sweetie bear. Just wanted to say hi. I see you in the chat.
Kaylee, I'm crying. Tall goat.
Madly is a little bit dumbfounded at this goat game.
I'm not kidding. I am 100% not kidding. It is great, and especially like, if you have younger siblings, that was a game like I have 6 younger siblings,
Oh
and
wow.
closest sister to me is 15, and I'm 24. Um, so it was just one of those things where there still is a good size age gap,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I've always been that person that I'm gonna be a 13-year-old boy the day I die. And so I
That's
can
great.
laugh and joke about the corniest, dumbest stuff. And that's where it's always been kind of nice having that mentality with such a large gap with my siblings, is I can relate better with
Yeah.
them than if
Mhm.
I was super, super mature and serious all the time. Um, but like it was just one of those nights where I just sat with my sister in the living room and we just sat there and ran around with a screaming goat
And we're
for two.
goats.
We were goats for 2 hours. But it was something as small as that to like we didn't have to make these big extravagant plans. We literally sat there running around as a screaming goat, running into cars and dragging people with our tongues.
Yeah.
And she texted me how much it meant to her. Like it's the small things like that that people don't think about, like dumb video games like that. Is like, yes, it's the corniest, dumbest thing that you will laugh so hard, but if you spend that hour or two with somebody laughing your butts off, then you won't forget. You won't forget that moment, and it's awesome.
Yeah, especially when they're younger too, because if they're so
Mhm.
much younger than you, they're gonna look up to you.
Yeah, my
And
youngest sister is 21 years younger than me.
yeah, wow, that's a big age difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like just similar like that, like when I used to play Human Fall Flat with the little one. Oh
Mhm.
man, just cracking up the entire time. Such a great time and great memories to have, you know.
Oh
There's
yeah.
no age limit on fun. I
Nope.
feel like
No, that's why I
people
will
get
never
too wrapped
grow
up in
up.
that.
I will never grow up. I
I mean,
don't
you can grow
care.
up and still have fun, and you're still a grown up.
Yep.
I can handle my grown up responsibilities without growing up.
Okay.
That's how I distinguish it.
Well, there you go.
You're like,
You
I'm
heard it here first,
determined.
everybody. You heard it here first.
Uh,
Kratos, I see your question in the chat. Every week, Support Force has a podcast featuring a member of the server. And there's different ways that you can earn being featured on that. And tonight we're learning about BigPanic, who's not only an awesome member of Support Force, but he's also a staff member of Support Force. So
Yep.
yeah, that's what we're doing here tonight.
Oh yeah.
And welcome.
Welcome in.
Kratos
welcome.
is
We're
a
Hi.
good
glad
friend
to
of
have
mine.
you.
We hang
Okay.
out in each other's streams all the time. So
Nice.
I'm glad he made his way here to see what we're all about.
I'm sure you're very interesting, Kratos.
He plays some interesting games. I'll give you that. So we have a ton of questions from the staff team in the server. And then just another reminder, if you have a question in the chat, just tag Support Force and type question, so we don't miss it. But I had a question. So you started on Mixer when you were streaming. What was your like deciding factor that made you want to come over to Twitch?
So,
Hold on, can I pause you guys for a second right there? Holy moly, Spectre, you are the man. Thank you so much for that $20 donation, dude. We appreciate
Woo!
that so much. Remember, everybody, all donations given will be put right back into the community, and we appreciate every single one of you guys that can support us here.
thank you, Spectre.
That's awesome. Wow, we're only 20 minutes in, you guys. Let's go.
Yep.
I talk a lot, so I'll try to keep us on time.
You do talk a lot, but that's okay. That's what podcast
You
is
do
for.
talk a lot.
Yep.
So we all talk a lot. That's why these podcasts never last just an hour. I mean that with love.
I mean that with love. You do talk a lot.
Oh man.
I'm a friendly person, okay?
Listen, don't knock it, Taurus.
I'm not by any means. I love it. Oh my goodness. All right, yeah. Call me out. But anyways, so you
everybody just
started
call her
on
out.
Mixer. You started on Mixer. And I was wondering what the story was. What made you decide to come over to Twitch?
So I started on Mixer when I was on my Xbox, mostly because it was the simplest thing to start up with the Xbox. You click the start button and it goes right through Mixer. I didn't really start streaming, I just literally saw it as a button and I got bored one day and I was like, why not? Like I like talking to people, I like socializing, like why not? I don't care if one person comes in at once a month when I stream. It's just somebody new I get to talk to. So there wasn't really a whole lot of thought process and picking up front. But as I started to play more and get more like consistent people that were coming in every time I streamed and stuff like that, it was kind of nice, but I was starting to hit a plateau because of Mixer for the game I play. I mostly stream Rocket League. I do stream Valorant, Call of Duty, all that every once in a while, but mostly majority of my streams are Rocket League. And when you're talking about Mixer and Rocket League, it is a short story. Other than a couple of members, when they log in, they'll have their 700 views somehow for that one page. But other than that, you're sitting for the entire game category alone, 2 to
Mm.
500 daily, and the 500s are only on the weekends.
Yep.
It's mostly 2 to 300 throughout the week, and then you have the top 5 people that pull the majority of those because they are established better. They have that rapport and stuff like that, and people always come back to the channel, which is kudos to them because they've worked hard to get that. And I started to get that a little bit, but I was for months and months I was hitting a hard plateau because there just wasn't the community there for that game. And so when I went to build my PC, I started doing more research and looking into other platforms, and I've decided to go with Twitch because it is harder to get recognized on Twitch, especially with Rocket League, because all of Rocket League esports is ran through Twitch. And every higher ranked player basically is on Twitch. But for me, the best move is if I wanted to keep streaming and wanted to stream Rocket League, my most consistent game for streaming, Twitch was the move, and to just slowly start over and rebuild back up. So I just figured in the longevity, it was a better move. I've never anticipated making a career out of this. It's something I like to do in my spare time to have fun and meet people. And so if I can make a couple bucks here and there, or just hang out with people, I don't care. Like whatever happens with it, whatever happens. And it's just fun to me. But I do want the best situation to meet more people and stuff like that. And Mixer just wasn't that choice for Rocket League.
That makes sense.
It's tough on
Well,
Mixer.
I always have a good time hanging out in your streams.
You like my music. We jam.
You do have good music.
Not
I mean,
all
no,
my
you don't.
video, all mine will
You
get
don't play
taken
music.
down at some point. But I play beats. I play bops. 100%.
Bops. Straight
You come
bops,
in there,
dude.
you come in there and say a genre. I love music. I love basically all genres of music. She'll come in there one night and we're in our feels, playing some slow singer-songwriter. Then all of a sudden we're in 2000s alternative. Then listen to some NF. I love music.
And that's my dude.
Oh, 100%. I love NF.
Oh yeah. So I just wanted to touch on something here that you had mentioned. Being somebody that has switched platforms quite a few times myself, I just want to know your experience because you said you had to start completely over on Twitch. Was it a smooth transition? Did you have to, do a little extra work? How'd that go?
It did kind of suck starting over. Just like it wasn't a setback, but it was just something that I'd spent months working and getting the same people come in every single time on Mixer. I wasn't seeing those same names on my Twitch, and that was kind of sucky just because I got so used to talking to those people and getting to know them and stuff like that. But switching did open up a whole new avenue of new people to meet. It may not be as consistently the same people coming in over and over again. So I think that's been like my biggest battle is wanting to have. I don't expect you to come in every single time I stream, but it's nice seeing that same name once a month when I do stream, just to be able to recognize you, connect with you, and have that consistent person to keep in touch with.
Yeah,
because it's
you're building
more
connections.
Exactly.
I do. I like
Friendships.
the more than a face value conversation. I appreciate anybody that comes in and just says hi, but I want to get to know you. I want to talk with you in the chat. I want to know about you, your life, what do you do, where are you from? I like that stuff. I like the whole package, not just the hi, just stopping by and leaving. And like I said, I respect that and appreciate it so much, but I do want to get to know you. If you come to my channel, I want to know you.
Yeah.
As long as you feel comfortable, like tell me that information in front of everybody. If not, completely understand. But it's just how I am as a person. I'm just a social person that likes to know people and understand.
Likes to talk. No, I'm just kidding.
Likes to talk, yeah.
Yep.
100%. I could literally stream just chatting every day of the
Every
week
day,
and
and-
never run it. I could never run out of stuff to talk about.
Nope. You wouldn't.
100%.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Not everyone can accomplish that.
That's why I'm going into clinical psychology.
Well, there you go. There you go.
But yeah, I would say that's definitely probably the hardest setback in switching over. Other than that, there's not a big difference between the two, in my opinion. for the gaming category, maybe, just because it's harder to get people down there. But a lot of people don't know you can set your Twitch so that it doesn't only show you top views. You can set it so that it does randomized views.
Mhm.
So it's not only the top people every time popping up on your thing, but if you want to find, like, I like finding somebody who has 1, 2, 5 viewers and meeting them, because usually I like those one-on-one accounts better.
Mm.
And that's why I strive to be. I don't care if 15 people are watching or if one person is. I try to respond to every single chat message. If you ask me a question, I want to answer. If you bring up something, I'll talk about it while I'm playing. And so I've had some people come in because they have that filter on, so they get down to the lower view counts. And so I think a lot of people don't know about that, and it's nice because I feel like you get to know people more personally using that rather than
Mhm.
just the automated filter Twitch has.
Yeah.
Hashtag kebab chats. Do it.
It's your new MO.
We have a question in the chat from Method. In the Splash Bash video that we saw your motorcycle. How long have you ridden bikes, and what is your dream motorcycle?
So
Tell
that's
people.
actually my first bike. I've always wanted a motorcycle, and my mama said no. My
Mom
mama still
said
says
no.
Mama still says no. Um, so that was my first bike. I signed the contract for it in September, paid it off in April. So she is 100% mine.
Yeah.
She's my baby. Um,
There you go.
I don't know. I grew up on lakes and being out in like the open air, and you're going 20 on a boat feels like you're going 80 in a car.
Mm.
And I love that feeling, just the air rushing, pressing up against you. Like, I love it. And that's what I get on my bike. I get like the freedom when I'm riding. There's nothing around me. I'm not enclosed in anything. I can look in any direction, and all I see is my surrounding. I don't
Mhm.
see
Open air.
anything else. So that's the biggest thing for me, is just like the freedom aspect of it. Um, and my dream bike.
Tough one.
Rabs, I know I am.
Honestly, since I already have a sports bike, I want a really nice all blacked out Indian.
Mm.
The all blacked out Indians are very slick, very clean looking. I'm not a big chrome person, that's why I want the all black. Because with sports bikes, I like the Gixxer body styles. Or if I can go really fancy in the new Kawasaki H2R that just come out, it's
Oh.
a $50,000-$60,000 motorcycle. But it also tops out in first gear at 92 mile an hour in first gear.
God.
That's crazy.
Yeah, if you top out third gear, you're at 170 mile an hour,
Oh damn. That's
and you have 3
wild.
gears to go.
Yeah. That's wild.
But that's something that, it'd be as fun as it would be to drive, I would never want to own, because if anything ever happened to it, that's a brand new Audi SUV that you just crashed.
Yeah.
Like, that thing's like a little mobile home on 2 wheels.
Seriously.
But I
I
don't
didn't
really have
realize they were that expensive. Or
Some
they
of
the
them
got
can
nice.
that.
be.
It's considered like it's considered the fastest bike in the world right now.
Mm.
And it's a street legal motorcycle you can go buy from a dealership right now.
So essentially,
But
it's got race and everything, but it's still street legal.
yep, it will be anything on the road.
Wow,
But
that's pretty cool.
Sounds
oh
like
yeah,
a good time.
I
it's a
also
gorgeous
saw
bike.
a follow up from Diehard or Method DLTV. What is her name?
Katarina,
Oh,
a little Russian.
sophisticated.
Keep me oh.
Yeah, you can call her Cat for short.
I like it.
And you have your personalized license plate, as we saw in the Splash Bash video.
Yes, kebab. And the best part about that is they forgot to charge me for it, so I got it for free.
There you go.
I saw it when I paid for it, and I paid for that in the plating, and they didn't charge me for it. I just walked right out of the B&B. I was like, nope, I'm just going before they say anything.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, Method.
Yeah, yeah.
Wolfram would like
funny.
to know, what's the longest trip you've ever taken on your bike?
So far the longest trip is like 30 minutes. I'm like right. I'm considered in Indianapolis. I'm around the outskirts. Well, not outskirts, just south. I'm like 15 minutes from downtown, so we don't have a lot of like long rides.
Mm.
and I only have my permit right now. I don't have my endorsement, so I'm technically not allowed to drive at night yet.
Mm.
So I only get to ride it on days where I don't work both my jobs. Because otherwise I don't get home till about midnight after working both jobs. Or if I'm only working my second job and I'm closing, then I don't get to ride it either. So any day like today was a perfect day. If I only work one of my jobs, I wake up a couple minutes early to start it up because I have to let it heat up to 185 degrees. It's like preheating an oven. And I don't know. I just like any nice day I try to like if I'm able to ride my bike and the weather's nice, I ride it. I try to like get every opportunity as possible to ride it. I just haven't really haven't had the time this summer between both my jobs and 4 summer classes to really go for any trips.
Yeah.
And so I've as much as I've wanted to do kind of other stuff with it right now, I've mostly just been trying to push through this December when I graduate and get my bachelor's. And then I'll have a lot more free time before I go into my master's next fall.
Nice.
That was nice.
Yeah.
So
You got your
hopefully,
priorities.
yeah.
You're doing what you can.
And then
Like I said,
throw a Supforce ambassador in that whole mix.
yeah.
You're a busy guy.
Yep.
I try.
Gotta keep moving, right?
So Rabble had the question as well, what is your dream bike? But he wants to know what your dream car is.
So the dream car is a toss up between two, and I think I've already told Rabs this once, and he gave me crap for both of them. So
He's
the
good
first
at
one I
that.
know he's gonna. The first one is he'll know this one because of Fast and Furious. It's the Skyline R34, super
Mm.
cliched. Um, but I actually don't want the 99, which is the one from Too Fast and Too Furious. I want the 01, which is the one from Fast and Furious. I think it was the third or fifth movie is when that third one, when the Royal Blue comes out, the Royal Blue he races. That's the 01 R34 GTR. I love that one. The 01 has a little bit more box cuts on the side of it, and I like that. And then the other one would be the 1967 Shelby GT500, otherwise known as Eleanor.
Oh yeah. I'm Shelby's, man. Beautiful
Mm-hmm.
piece of equipment.
Eleanor is the woman you marry. She's you see her, you put a ring on her.
Yeah. Nothing else will
That kind of
suffice.
leads us to another question too, is what is your favorite movie? And I already know the answer to this because we were just talking about this the other night.
You do. We just talked about this Sunday. Radio. It
Oh.
is the one movie that I can watch over and over again, and I don't know, it just never gets old to me. The storyline is good to me. Again, I know Rabbles disagrees. Rabble disagrees with a lot of things I say. But I don't know. I'm very picky when it comes to movies. The big two things me is soundtrack and plot. You could have mediocre actors. I don't care. If you have a soundtrack and a good plot, I'm there. Um, and Radio's plot is just very deep to
Mm-hmm.
me,
It is.
and it just gets me every time. And so I love it. And Cuba Gooding Jr. does a phenomenal job in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a great actor too. Everything he's done.
I've never watched it because I know it's gonna make me cry.
And yes, Wolf's Realm, and yes, Wolf, I love that car. Supernatural, the 67 Impala, that thing is beautiful. Love that car.
See, I'm a '69 Boss Mustang kind of guy myself.
He wants a baby.
And then if I'm talking about older muscles, I like the 70s, early 70s Stingrays. Those heightened pinpoint wheel wells,
Mm-hmm.
downhill nose, they're awful. They're so uncomfortable for the ride. They're so rough and jostle around, but God, do they look good.
Yeah, another pretty piece of equipment.
Okay, and the infamous question that Rabble always asks: what animal and why?
Knew it was coming.
Like, what's my favorite animal?
What
What
animal would
animal
you
would you
be?
be if you could, and why?
Mm, I guess it's my same answer as my favorite animal, as I feel like most people would be. They'd want to be their favorite animal. I love tigers.
Ooh.
I absolutely love tigers. Everybody like is so obsessed with like lions as the kings and all that, but tigers are so much more powerful, agile. They're absolutely gorgeous creatures. Um, I don't know what it is about them. I've just honestly always I was like to see this the spirit animal and all that. I don't know, like it's just something always been about tigers. Especially tiger cubs. Like they're the most adorable things you'll ever see. A little tiger cub.
Yeah.
And then I don't know their pack mentality. Like we've talked about, like I'm a social person, and just like my friends and my family mean a lot to me, and so like that mentality has kind of always stuck with me, especially with that. Um, to where what kind of tiger? Oh,
Ooh.
honestly, the Siberian, the all white, black stripes, the blue eyes,
Good
They're
choice.
beautiful.
Oh yeah.
just gorgeous. And I prefer cold over heat. I'd rather I like to live somewhere that's warm. That's fine, but like I like to be in a cold environment. I don't want to be outside and be cold because then I can't do stuff. So I want to live somewhere where it's warm. But if you go into my house, my AC will be set at 60 to 65 degrees with my fan running in my room at night. Like I like the cold air around me, but if I want to live somewhere warm where I can still do stuff whenever I want to.
Yeah. And not have your face hurt just from going outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm tired of my job during the winter.
So that actually kind of segues us into this question that we missed earlier from Spuds Lightyear. And he apologizes if it was already asked, but do you own anything other than a tank top?
Yeah, I actually have a lot of shirts, but I'm at home. I want to be comfortable. I have to wear work boots and, well, my one job I can wear whatever I want as long as I have work boots on. Um, but my second job I have to wear a black polo and either khaki, black or navy shorts and all that. So when I'm home, I want to be comfortable. So tank tops and cutoffs 24/7 when I'm at home.
That's
And if
all
it's
we've ever seen you in.
Yep, that's
Yep,
it.
100%. If I'm at home, I'm in a tank top or a cutoff, and if it's the winter, I'm in my sweat basketball shorts and a oversized hoodie. I'm like a teenage girl, 100%. In
You
the
ve-
winter, give me that XL hoodie that I can fit two of me in, and some nice comfy sweat shorts, and I
See,
am
that is the
happy.
life.
yeah.
I remember
100%.
being a teenage girl, and that sounds about right.
That's exactly 100%.
That's great.
Pants optional.
Gosh.
Pants are optional right now. It's a guessing game right
Hey
now.
Rebs, don't come upstairs right now. You never know.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. News anchors aren't required. It's not in the dress code.
So I have a question here
uh,
from Panic. And I'm sure everybody wants to know it as well. What do you find to be the best part about Support Force? And when you were confused and you didn't really know what was going on, what made you stay and learn it and want to be a part of it? Not only just as a member, but now stepping up as a staff member.
So, answer them in order. The best parts, honestly, I'd say the best part's the Gen Chat. I love going into people's streams. I love supporting however I can, but the Gen Chat is probably my favorite part of the channel. Um, I may not be the most active in being able to reply all the time in Gen Chat, but any chance I get, our Gen Chat has become my social media. To where if I have a quick second where I'm sitting down and not doing anything, then I scroll through and like I sit there and it'll be like you have 150 messages in the past hour.
yep.
And I'll just be sitting there kind of scrolling and I look for like names that I haven't seen before, somebody that I don't usually see chatting in there, new members, stuff like that. And it's just awesome because that's the place where you get to immediately meet somebody new the moment they come into the server. It's the point where you can catch up with anybody about their day. I mean, all throughout the day, since we have people all over the world, I have people saying that they just woke up. This is what they have to do today. Somebody just got off work. This is how their shift went. This is what somebody's doing today with their family. Like it's literally all the best parts of different pages of social media in one page.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, I just love the Gen Chat atmosphere. That's just so casual. It's literally like IMing with your middle school friend just all day long
Yep.
while you're trying to
It's just
avoid
a,
your
it's just a big group message.
yeah, you're trying to avoid your responsibilities and just have fun with your friends.
No wonder
And
why
I
you
love
love
it.
it so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking about being social, man.
100%. And it's the one channel where everybody comes together. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care what platform you are. I don't care what you're trying to promote, what you're trying to create. This is the one channel where everybody is. And
Yeah.
there's no separation in there. I'm not saying that channels are meant to separate people, but this is where everybody comes together.
Yeah.
This is where everybody comes together to talk about anything, not just their content.
Mm-hmm.
Anything and everything.
Yep.
It's great. You're the first person to answer that or answer with that.
Yep.
Oh my god, what am I trying to say? Answer that question with that answer. But I like it.
Shanks. And then what made me come back? Honestly, when I first put my PC, I was downloading I was looking up all the parts and stuff like that, and I was starting to look at all the things I need to download and stuff like that. And Discord popped up as one of the apps to download, and it was like one of those things where it's like it was on the fence with not Supforce, but Discord in general. It's like it's something new to me, and it's that moment when you make a decision whether you're gonna take the time to learn something whole new or kind of step away from it. And I made the decision to kind of like look more into Discord about Discord as a whole. And as I started doing that, I was reading up on Discord and learning all these things, and things from our server kept popping into my head. Like a website would mention this, and I would think about how our server had that and stuff like how this server had it and stuff like that. So it kept popping back into my head. So once I got more familiar with it and I loaded it back up, I started seeing all these different features and stuff like that that I knew Discord could do, and it was all in this place. And I kept kind of finicking with it. And our server was kind of like my test area to learn how to function Discord and everything with all the channels and all the roles and all the stuff like that. And I was learning baby steps. And then as I was doing all that, the messages, like I said in Gen Chat, just kept popping up and popping up. And it was just like random things. And that's what's the best part about it is there was no topic. And
Mm-hmm.
I just started kind of like casually chatting there with some people and getting to know them a little bit better. And then so kind of between me getting more comfortable with Discord and just starting to talk to people more in the Gen Chat, it just kind of opened me back up to like the idea of like, wait, I had to go back and like reread when I was first invited to the server, like what it was about and all that. And then reading more inside of each channel, I read every single header, all the pins in every channel, read them all, and I was like,
Oh my god.
"Holy crap!"
You're
Does
like
happen.
you're like Taurus's
Taurus is
best
gonna-
friend.
and I was
Thank
like,
you for reading those.
I was like, "Holy crap!" Like you can do anything in here, like
Mm-hmm.
absolutely anything you can do in this server. It doesn't matter what I go out and do this today. If I take a picture of this, I have a video of this, or somebody sends me this funny thing, or whatever, there's a place for it in the server. And it was just awesome, and I just kept finding something new and cool with every single channel and kind of started to find my niche within the server with all the roles and everything, and I was hooked. 100% I was hooked.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And it
Well,
became a part to where if I was playing with somebody or somebody told me they streamed and stuff like that, like it would always come up. 100%. It was one of the first things that would always pop into my head.
and that's where Taurus and I used to hear you just spew all wonderful things about us. And then we reached out to you.
Every stream.
Yeah, every single one. Every time that
Yeah.
we came in. We bowled multiple times. It was great. We were glad
remember-
to make you a part of the team.
I remember it was like the third stream of yours that I had gone in and you were going on about Supforce again, and I went into our staff chat and I was like, you guys got to come check this guy out. Like, we need to talk to him.
Mhm.
And that's when QP came in and then QP was all excited because you are super high ranked in Rocket League and and then you immediately just had that connection. That's something to talk about.
Mhm.
We're
Yeah.
Do you want
buds
to talk
now.
about that a little bit? Like
What, Rocket League?
BA Rocket League player we've got on this podcast right now.
I love Rocket League. Honestly, it's the one game that I could always come back to. No matter what game I download, I'll get really into it for a month, 3 months. I always come back to Rocket League.
Every time.
And it wasn't always like that. I downloaded Rocket League in 2015 when it came to console. Before that, it
Is
was on
that
PC.
old? Dang.
Yeah, it's that old. No, that's when it came to console. It's older than that. It was originally known as Supersonic Rocket Battle Cars on PC.
I see why they
God-awful
changed the
game.
name.
God awful game. Oh my god.
But they came to console, and I downloaded it because I kept seeing like clips of it all over social media and stuff like that. I was like, what
Everywhere.
the hell are they doing? There's a soccer ball and cars flying everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Um,
I remember the
it's like
first time
you
I
see a
saw it, I was like, what is happening?
yeah, there's so much, but you're intrigued. You can't stop watching.
Yep.
And I was never very good. I just played for fun with my friends when I was down at the University of Louisville. I made new friends down there, and we all kind of played together. My friends back home, we all started playing it about the same time. We were just kind of like having fun. And so, for anybody in here who plays Rocket League at that time, up till about 3 years ago, I was a gold 2, gold 3, which in the ranks go copper, and it goes 1, 2, 3, and there's 4 divisions within each of them, and then you go up to your next one. So it goes copper, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, champ, grand champ. So I
Jeez.
just sat at like gold 2 for a couple of years, not really caring about playing it competitively in the comp and just having fun with my friends. And then I met a friend through my at the time roommate, and we met one night on an Xbox and we started chatting. And this again, what I love about the social aspect of gaming is we met one night, we played together Rocket League together every single night for 3 months straight.
Holy moly.
3 months straight after just one night of meeting each other. And it was just phenomenal. I really got into it more, like learning new mechanics and rotations and stuff like that. And within that first year, I went from gold 2 to plat 3. 2 seasons later, I went from plat 3 to diamond 3 in one season. And then after that, I float anywhere from mid to high C3 to low C2. Which for I know a lot of people don't know what that means. Like roughly top 5 to 3% of
Yeah.
the game.
Wow.
Don't worry, I'm still thousands and thousands of people down the list.
Yep.
But I'm still roughly in the top 3 to 5% in the game. And it's so much fun to me because there's always a new mechanic being brought out by the players that you can try to learn. And there's so many mechanics that have been out for years that I still can't do.
Yeah,
And
there's so many mechanics in that game that you can take advantage of.
And it's just so
It's
much
amazing
fun.
to me how competitive this game is and
Yep.
how competitive
yeah.
people get in it.
Biggest esport for many years. Many years.
It's huge in esports. Yeah.
Every college has teams now
Yeah, the
for Rocket
collegiate.
League. There's a CRL, which is a college series. Then you have the rival series, which is like the way to talk about it is minor leagues. And what's the neatest thing about Rocket League esports is you don't just have your pro series, which is the RLCS, and they have the NA, the EU. You have the rival series, which they just redid how they do it now. What it is if you're last place in the RLCS, you automatically demote to the rival series.
And you have
in
to
the
play
NA
back
and the
in.
EU. Not anymore.
No, did you just drop right down?
You drop immediately if you're in last place.
Oh, wow.
Then if you're in the second to last and third to last place, you play in a tournament against the second and third place of the rival series. So the 2 bottom teams from the NA and the 2 bottom teams from the EU go down and play the top 2, well, second and third from the NA and EU. Whoever comes out in those series gets to move up.
And then
So
first
you
and
have
last
to.
just swap?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Because they got tired of dealing with all that. They wanted a more constant changes rather than, but it makes you
That makes
earn
sense.
it.
Yeah.
So
Plus, if
the
you
competitive
if
aspects
you
of it is
see-
amazing.
If you see some of those new teams that are coming out right now, like
Oh, they're amazing.
they're beating some of the top teams that have been at the top tier forever. And these young kids, 15, 16, 17 years old, are coming out of the gate and just destroying them sometimes. It's amazing to see like the difference in each team's strategy and everything and how crazy they go together. And you think
And, like,
that you think it's just some simple game that you hit a soccer ball
no.
into a net, but there's so many aspects that some of these newer players are coming out with that's giving the older professionals a hard time.
I just watched a video with Lethamir, who's the top. He's in the top 40,
I love
and
Leth.
Squishy and Lethamir played with a young prodigy. He's 14 years old.
Mm-hmm. I remember
He's
that
part of
one.
the like he's right around the 2000 MMR club, and he's insane. Like 14 years old, playing with one of the biggest known names in RLCS and a top 40 player in the entire game at 14 years old.
He coached,
Wow.
also Ledemir coached. He also is a primary map builder now for some of the game modes that they have.
For
And
PC, yeah.
yeah, for that young kid to
What
come
an
in, and
accomplishment.
he was doing good too. I
Mhm.
saw that, but it's just amazing. These young kids are coming out of nowhere, you know.
Oh no, and you see that with every game.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy. There's
Brose. Oh, sorry. Don't want to interrupt.
no, you're good.
I was going to move on to another question.
Go for it.
Rose would like to know, you recently made the switch over to PC gaming. He wants to know the reason, any specific reason why
So I
from
was
console.
so stoked about the new Xbox. I was like 100% hyped up and ready. And I sat there and thought about it. I was like, I'm buying a $500 console every 4 years. I could easily build a good PC. I didn't build top of the line, but I also didn't go cheap. I did monitors, keyboard, tower, everything included, about $2,200. I was like, that's a good amount. That's not a cheap PC. I'm going to upgrade quickly.
Yeah.
And so, in my mind, it's a better long term investment because I don't see myself stopping gaming. I see it as something I get to share with my kids and stuff like that. So, it's something to me that I can upgrade parts easier than just buying a new console.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And the games run smoother. Rocket League on PC, like getting to Grand Champ on console is extremely hard.
Yeah.
You almost have to have a PC to have a realistic chance because of your refresh rates and how realistic the physics are in the game. That it was completely different,
Mm-hmm.
100%. And so I was just super excited, and it was something new and fun. Like I love trying something new. So I was like started researching different parts and all this stuff like that. And then next thing I know, I had a shopping cart full of stuff that costed way more than I originally planned, and I love it. And that's what everybody's rule is. Everybody's like, you're building a PC, you say you're gonna spend 1,500, you'll probably spend closer to two. I was like, I see that now, 100%. I see
I
that
see
because
that.
I was like, oh, this next processor up's only $30 more. Why wouldn't I? Like, that's exactly what I did. I
Yeah.
was, but I love it. It's so much fun.
So
Uh,
while we're on the topic of Rocket League and things like esports and stuff, we haven't formally sat down since I've gotten back from my time off. But you want to tell everybody kind of what we might have in the works coming up soon?
Sweet. So me and QP will be hosting a Rocket League tournament for the server.
Woo!
Um, we're still working on a date and a for sure timeline, but what we can tell you is that it will be a twos tournament. And yes, spoilers, Taurus. And it will be a twos tournament. We are doing randomly generated teams, so I don't want to upset you, but we are going to do that to keep it as fair as possible with ranks.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have any worries of two C3 grand champs coming in and not making it fun. We want everybody to have fun. We want this to be a good time. So
We
we
want
will do
everybody to
random.
have a shot.
Exactly. And so we want to do random generated teams. We will make an announcement about once we get the date set, how we're going to have everybody register for it. We will do it tournament style with a bracket that I will keep track of. And we will be hosting it as spectators and commentators for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Once the announcements do come out, feel free to message me or QP about any questions about it and stuff like that. The only thing we do ask is do not register until you know for sure you can participate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we'll have a long enough window so you can figure out if you need to have that day off work or whatever's going on. That was the only thing we do ask because we do not want last second on the day of somebody not being able to play because somebody wasn't able to get off or something like that. We do understand emergencies come up, completely understand. But to your best ability, Just make sure you're able to participate before you register. But we're excited because they
Yeah.
said we
And
haven't
we'll
had a.
have announcements come out too with
Mhm.
plenty of time's notice
Yep.
in the server. So look out for those.
Yep.
Yep, it shouldn't be too much longer. We're going to get together, get a couple last details finalized, and everybody will have all the information. And plus, the big thing we're waiting on is we're waiting for the free to play to go live so
Mhm.
that nobody in the server will have to buy the game. Rocket League is going free to play this summer permanently.
Yep.
They
It's
have
also
not released it.
cross-platform as well, so it doesn't matter what platform you are on. You can even if
Yep.
you had your Nintendo Switch, you'll be able to play it for free and join the tournament.
Yep, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Switch are all have Rocket League and all cross-platform compatible with each other. Um, Once it goes live, I'll make sure to make an announcement in the server once it goes live for free to play. So if you want to download it and see if it's something you might want to do, completely understand. So I will try to stay on that and post it the moment I find out the date or the day of that it goes free to play because they have not announced that yet. They just said this summer. So I'm still waiting on that to see that date come up. I follow all their social media pages, so I try to keep up with that
Awesome.
stuff pretty well.
Yay, spoilers. I love it.
So, do you want to maybe tell them what we're thinking about for first prize this time?
All right, so first prize for this time, we haven't set the amount.
You don't have to give an
So,
amount.
okay, yeah, so we're doing a merchandise giveaway for first, second, and third place. We are doing first place. The big thing is you could either get the value we set up for merchandise, the item we set up. We're setting up items, not dollar amounts. The item we pick out, first place, you can get that item from Support Force, or we will pay that amount that that item is worth towards an item of merchandise from a fellow Support Force member. And that is only for first place. So say QP has you get first place and you want a hat. He has an awesome hat that you want that's the same price. If you have first place, we will purchase that hat from QP for you.
Yep. It's kind of a
And
little bit of
so,
a way to make sure that not only supporting Support Force ourselves, but we're also supporting their favorite streamer within our wonderful community.
but that is for first place only. Second and third place will be Support Force merchandise.
Of a little
But
bit of a
for
lesser value.
yeah, of a little bit lesser value. But first place will have the choice to have the Support Force item or the item of their favorite streamer, and there will be an item for each of the players, not just one item, and you guys get a fight over who gets it. You guys get items. Each of you get
Mhm.
the same items, same value. And if you want two different streamers, that's fine. But that is again only for first place.
Mhm.
Cannot
And
repeat that
again,
enough.
also more announcements will be coming out with all the details, so you don't have to remember all of this. But we just, like I've been saying, we enjoy giving spoilers during our
Mhm.
podcast.
Mhm.
So
It's the best
this
And
place
give
to
you
just
time
do
to
it.
practice. Give
Yeah.
you time to practice. Like, even though you might not be able to play with your buddy in the tournament, go practice together. And whoever's team you get up, you may get randomly generated on the same team. I can't promise anything,
Nope.
but you never know.
we
Finger.
have a couple more questions, and we're running a little bit low on time, so let's get these questions answered.
Mhm.
Rose would like to know, what is your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite Pokemon?
Yeah,
It's gonna sound so dumb.
that's probably why he asked this question.
Yeah.
So,
That's
I
great.
actually haven't said it, and it's because every time I see this Pokemon, it gets stuck in my head for days, and it's Jigglypuff. Her song, because they're doing this because I just started rewatching all of Pokemon,
Love it.
and Jigglypuff's song when she sings, I will hear it in my head for like the next 2 days,
It's
and I don't
catchy,
know who,
man.
and I don't know who does her voiceover, but it's so smooth.
Mhm.
It is so relaxing that I just hear her voice the entire next day.
That's great.
It is great. I knew somebody was gonna be like, "Oh my god."
So we'll stick with Brose's question again. He has another question in here. If you could have one food for the rest of your life and one food only, what would it be and why?
chicken because I can cook it in so many different ways, and I love
Oh.
chicken. Chicken and pasta, chicken on its own. You can marinate it.
You can only have the one food though, like one
It is
dish,
one food.
one
It
one
is no. It
meal.
is one. Chicken is one food.
Okay, you're bending the rules here. And I
No,
don't like, and I don't like it. All right.
a
Chicken
burger
is
is one
one
food,
food.
but okay, then a burger you can only pick one topping to put on it then for the rest of your
Yeah,
life.
that's
No,
essentially what the question is, though.
so what would happen if I just like picked a pickle off my burger?
Well, pickles better be
Pickles. Pickles
your
is it.
favorite meal then.
Well, if I can, okay, if I can only do one thing served one way
Yeah,
for the rest of my life,
Now it's hard for him to decide.
yeah, it is hard.
that's great.
Um, honestly, I'm a big pasta person. And my mom would always cook cheesy noodles for us, and it's as simple as it sounds. It's just pasta noodles, ragu, cheese, and then the spicy breakfast sausage ground up into it.
Mm,
It's
ooh,
so good. Put a little bit of seasoning on it, and it's so good because I love cheese. I love pasta. You can never have too much cheese on something.
never.
Never.
You can put cheese on
Never.
whatever the heck you want to.
Yeah, no, there is
Everything.
never such thing as too much cheese. Cheese, barbecue,
Oh,
and
cheese.
ranch. I'll put cheese on cheese.
Take it right out the bag.
I'll take a slice of cheese and put liquid cheese on it.
Oh man, that's funny.
Food always comes up during these podcasts, and
Mhm.
I don't know what time it is for everyone else out there because we always base this off of EST time, but I'm in Pacific, so it's like dinner time for me. I never eat before these podcasts, and we always talk about food.
It's
That's good.
a little past dinner time here.
So everybody, make sure that you are getting in your final questions before we get out of here. Make sure to
Peanut butter
tag
and
at
cheese
Supforce,
sandwiches.
and we'll be sure to answer
Ugh,
them.
peanut butter and cheese.
That's
And here in a couple minutes, we're
Dairy-free
gonna let
cheese isn't even cheese, Kayla.
here in a couple minutes we're gonna let Big Panic go get set up on his stream because we are going to raid him after this. So be getting in your questions, and there's um there's one more that I would like to ask is what is your thought? You already said that Subforce was the first, like your first experience with Discord in general. But since joining Subforce, have you joined any other Discord communities, and what are your thoughts on them, like benefits versus cons as a content creator?
So as a content creator, most of the other Discords I've seen are personal Discords. Not as fancy as ours.
Not
Um,
community based.
yeah. Um, the only other community-based ones I've seen are like I'm in 6-mans for Rocket League, 4-mans and stuff like that. I recently joined a newly founded gaming organization that was founded in January. I just joined them. And it's definitely different joining into Supforce farther in advance as I did, where it seemed like, and Panic's like, not all the bugs are fixed, but like everything seems so smooth and it looks like a finished product. It really does. If you go into this channel, it looks flawless. It runs smoothly. Everything does what it's supposed to do.
aside for a
gonna be
couple
like,
of hiccups.
yeah. Um, but then joining that new organization in a community base, it's different seeing it starting out. Where they just have a couple channels, they haven't gotten everything like set up yet, and they're trying to run the server and establish it and make it while they're still trying to do the organization at the same time. It's a lot. And so
Yep. That
it just kind of
been there, done that.
yeah, it's just showing me like how far the server has come from well before I was here, and it gave me like that much more respect for people that have been here since day one and early on building this thing, because the server I joined has been live since January and it still just looks like a personal server.
Mm.
And so it's a lot of work and a lot of time to do all that. And so
We have a lot
and
of
honestly
great
it's
brains around here,
a lot of great
including
brains
yourself.
and oh,
Oh,
Putting everything
but
together, trying to
it's
make
true.
it the best we can, you know?
The
But I do want to
ideas
give a
man.
huge shout out to the guy behind the screen, Panic, other Panic. He's the guy that you don't see a lot in the server. You don't see him stream a lot. He chats every once in a while when he has free time, but he does a lot of the stuff that nobody knows about behind the curtains. all the
Not
bot
even us
work.
sometimes.
Yeah, no, like he'll
Not
be
even
like,
us.
he did this. Oh, I didn't know that somebody actually had to do that. I thought that the bot just did it. Well, I made the bot do it.
Yep.
And so I think you guys everybody just like doesn't understand how much time he actually puts in to make the actual system run as smooth as it does. And everybody in the staff's amazing, but just like from my lack of ability to do what he does is just dumbfounds me everything he can do in
Mhm.
the server. We come up with these great ideas. Like I said, I'm the idea man, but an idea doesn't mean nothing if somebody can't do it.
Mhm.
And pretty much if I can think of something, he can basically do it, or find a way to make it work.
Yep.
And so that was like a
That was like
big
the
thing.
sweetest shout out I've ever heard.
Taurus is gonna cry.
I know, it was so sweet.
But yeah, he's the OG Panic, and he makes this channel work.
Mhm. Well, that seems to be all the questions. I don't know, Taurus. Did we miss anything in chat? Any other questions?
And there was one more question in chat from Bash. He wants to know if you have any tattoos. What's your favorite tattoo, and can we see it?
So my most recent one, well, if I could do this on the camera where it's located. So this is my most recent one. It's still pretty old. It's a castle on an island. It's kind of hard to see. It's a lot of small detail with the anchor holding it down. I got this one because a lot of stuff I've been through a lot with family and parents and stuff like that growing up. That kind of always showed me that, to me, like all my tattoos have personal meaning. And this one's always been my reminder that no matter like how heavy the anchor represents my burdens, my past, anything I've struggled with in life, no matter how heavy that is, you can always build something on top of it that'll never pull down.
Mm.
Um, then
I like that.
my second one that's not yet done is my ovarian cancer ribbon for my grandmother. That wraps all the way around.
Nice.
This will eventually be a full half sleeve come this December. I'll have my full sleeve done. And then I can't show my chest one because my nipple. I'm not trying to get us in
TOS.
trouble. Yeah.
Wait, you don't have
Um,
pasties? Come on now.
I can grab a band-aid real
I
quick.
mean, you have only
It's
tank
fine.
tops and you don't have pasties? Come on, man.
Nah, free the
Big
nips.
Panic has an Instagram. If you really want to show us, you can take a picture, post it on your Instagram. We can go look at it there.
There we go. I was like, no, I'm all about free the nips 2020, but not on the official Support Force channel.
No.
But the
We
one on my chest is
appreciate
for
your
my great
consideration.
grandmother. It's a rose wilting, and the rose petals drifting down my side. And inside the rose, it says, "That's what I love about Sundays," because my great grandma used to get the entire family together every single Sunday for dinner.
Oh, nice.
It didn't matter what was going on in anybody's life; everybody was at dinner every single Sunday. She had a
Yeah.
basketball goal in the driveway, above ground pool. My uncle and aunts all cooking in the kitchen, bringing their side dishes every single Sunday. And the best part was that she passed away on a Sunday morning. They took her out, and my uncle started cooking. It was the most wholesome way that the whole thing could have went down. And so I have that, and that'll eventually be finished all the way down into my hip.
Nice, dude.
So I don't dog people for
Oh.
having tattoos
Are you trying to
for
make me
designer
cry?
reasons. That's just not my reason.
Yeah.
To me, tattoos have very personal meaning, and all mine will, and I plan on having a lot of them.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Well, I don't know if you have like a little bit of an outro. Tell us what, where to find you, when to find you, what
Any words of
platforms you're
advice
on, words of
to the
advice.
members?
So obviously I'm on Twitch, Big Panic, Instagram, Big Panic, YouTube, nothing posted yet, but Big Panic. Still trying to get better at the whole video editing and creating and stuff like that. So I'll be hopefully posting more stuff there soon. Twitter, don't really use Twitter a whole lot. Trying to get better about posting on there when I'm going live and stuff. But other than that, for the most part, I try to stream Mondays and Tuesdays in the evening, around between 7 and 10. Weekends TBA with work and depending on what's going on with family. But I try to at least stream 2 to 3 times a week. It's been a little hard recently, but schedule's going to be getting a little bit better here in a couple weeks. So I'll hopefully be in there more soon. Any advice?
Hold on, can I pause you for 1 second? I just wanted to say thank you to Nick is the best for that follow. We appreciate that, and welcome into the Support Force Live.
Thank you, Nick. But yeah, my only advice would be focus on, yes, being a good gamer, because people like watching people that are good. But what people overestimate is somebody that talks to them. I can't tell you, especially like on Mixer, most of your biggest streamers in Rocket League and other games aren't the best players in the world. Some of them are, most of them aren't. They're the people that actually sit there, can have a wholesome conversation with somebody and actually show that they care to have that talk. They actually care about what you're saying. So, yes, play your game, because that's what you deserve to do. You want to play your game, you can play your game, but don't overlook your chat. Don't, you're not going to get every single question that comes in there, but if you see a question, do your best to try to answer it or try to acknowledge that person. Always acknowledge anybody in your chat that comes in, because they're taking time out of their day to stop in. So I think the chat is the biggest part about streaming, is how you handle your chat. You could be the worst player in the world and people will still want to come in and see you if you handle your chat the right way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, people still come watch me. I'm not the greatest gamer.
I thought you were about to say
Dies from chat regularly, Rabs. That's
Oh,
great.
100%.
Always dies from his chat.
I'll have nights where like I'll stop gaming an hour before I was planning to, and I've literally just sat here, pulled up my iTunes, and just listened to music and talk to people.
Yep.
And
I've been at those streams,
it's great.
taking song requests.
Yeah, it's awesome, because then it's literally just you're taking a break from everything else to get to know the people in your chat, and they request a song, and that song tells you they request a song. Them requesting that song tells you a lot.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I just think the chat is a very big part of streaming that people don't often talk about.
I agree. Best way
Well,
to keep
really,
people
essentially,
going.
the chat is the difference between just recording your content, making a YouTube video, and uploading it versus streaming it live. Like, why stream it live if you're not going to interact with the people that come there to watch you live versus just watching the VOD?
Exactly. Well, Kebab, we don't want to take up any more of your night. You got to go ahead and get set up and get your stream going so that we can hit you with that fat raid. We appreciate you coming out and, like I said, taking this on short notice and for doing everything that you do behind the scenes with us on the staff
We
team.
love your ideas.
Yep.
Keep them coming.
Mm-hmm.
Even if someone else already said it first, we don't care.
Hey, I'll be the newest and latest and greatest. But no problem. I appreciate you guys. Honestly, staff calls. I don't care how tired I am Monday morning when I wake up for work.
It's worth it.
I literally die laughing. I die laughing every single Sunday during our calls, and
Y'all are
just being a
crazy,
part of
that's
the
why.
whole staff thing. It's great.
All right,
But
go ahead and
Alright.
get your stuff
Alright,
set up.
BigPanic.
We're gonna go ahead
I
and
appreciate it,
You get out
guys.
of here.
Thank you, everybody. I'll talk to y'all here in a second.
All right, see you, dude. Great job.
Does he know to leave?
Yep.
Okay, good.
All right, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and switch out to our song here and wait for him to go live, and then hit him with that fat raid. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Make sure that if you are not a part of Support Force yet, a leading cross-platform support community, go to discord.gg/supportforce. We'd be glad to have you. Thanks for all your time, everybody.